Model News, 21 October 1937. Wilbur I. Allen of Murray, Kentucky is visiting in the home of Mr. and Mrs. Marvin Allen. Miss Mary Evelyn Russell of Dover spent the weekend in the home of Mr. and Mrs. L.A. Dilday. Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Barra left Sunday for Murray, where they will spend a week or two with relatives in and around Murray. Reverend L.D. Wilson filled the appointment at the Rushing Creek Church this weekend. He was also elected pastor at this church for the coming year. The Blood River Association will meet at Calvert City, Kentucky, with Calvert City Baptist Church delegates from Rushing Creek Church. To attend are Reverend T.T. Hicks, L.A. Dilday, and Tommy Vinson. The association meets October the 20th and 21st. Mr. and Mrs. Oliver Downs and children and his mother, Mrs. Ann Downs, who have been living on Rushing Creek for the past 4 years, moved to the old model post office, which has been remodeled and made into a nice dwelling house last week. Miss Irene Morgan, her brother and sister-in-law of Tharp, visited their sister, Mrs. Will Scott of Rushing Creek, last week. Miss Lizzie Surratt, who recently came back from New Mexico, visited Mrs. L.A. Dilday and Mrs. Will R. Allen of Rushing Creek Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Mrs. Ralph Cook has been very ill and shows little improvement. In this video, I'm going to feature Mary Evelyn Russell Rubel. She was born in Model on October the 22nd, 1922. She passed away 14 August 1987 at St. Louis Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. Mary Evelyn's father was Dr. Alexander Damon Russell. He was born 1875 and passed away 1935. Said when Dr. Alexander Damon Russell was born August 23, 1875 in Callaway, Kentucky, his father John was 57 and his mother Priscilla was 40. He married Cozy Lee Dilday on December 24, 1905 in Stuart, Tennessee. He died on May the 24th, 1935 in Clarksville, Tennessee at the age of 59 and was buried in Murray, Kentucky. His father was John Wesley Russell and his mother was Priscilla Eveline Jackson. This is an obituary for Dr. Russell. Dr. Russell of Dover is dead. Stewart County physician succumbs here. Burial is Saturday. Death summoned Dr. A.B. Russell, 61, of Dover, Stewart County health officer and widely known physician, this morning at the Clarksville Hospital following a short illness of pneumonia. Funeral services will be conducted at 3 p.m. Saturday from the Model Baptist Church, Model, Tennessee, and burial will be in the church cemetery. Ministers who will conduct the rites are the Reverend J.H. Thurman and the Reverend R.S. Gregory of Murray, Kentucky, the Reverend D.W. Picklesheimer of Dover, and the Reverend C.R. Barrow of Murray, Kentucky. Dr. Russell is survived by his wife, Mrs. Cozy Lee Dilday Russell, to whom he was married in 1905, a son, Dr. A.F. Russell, and a daughter, Miss Mary Evelyn Russell, all of Dover. He was born in Murray, Kentucky, but moved to Dover about 20 years ago, and since that time has been actively practicing his profession throughout the county. He was appointed county health officer for Stuart about 10 months ago. Kind and benevolent and a friend to man, Dr. Russell was widely known for his cheerful disposition and gentle nature. He leaves hundreds of friends to mourn his death. He was a member of the Model Baptist Church, the Masonic Order, the Modern Woodman of the World, and the Medical Society. Dr. Russell and his wife are both buried at the Murray City Cemetery in Murray, Kentucky. Mary Evelyn's mother was Cozy L. Lee Dilday. When Cozy L. Dilday was born on December the 20th, 1882 in Tennessee, her father Roderick was 32 and her mother Mary was 38. She had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. She died on September the 9th, 1958 in Clarksville, Tennessee at the age of 75. Cozy's parents were Roderick Henderson Dilday. He was born March the 9th, 1850 in Tennessee, and he died July the 29th, 1915 in Stewart County, Tennessee. His father was Joseph, known as J.D. Dilday, and his mother was Annie McCauley. Cozy's mother was Mary Etta Vinson. She was born May the 25th, 1844 in Stewart County, Tennessee. She passed away October the 1st, 1879 in Stewart County, Tennessee. Her father was Daniel Vinson and her mother was Elizabeth White. This is Cozy's obituary. Former resident dies early today. Mrs. Cozy Dilday Russell, age 75, died at 1:30 a.m. today at the Memorial Hospital in Clarksville, Tennessee. Her death came as a result of complications following an illness of 1 month. Mrs. Russell was the wife of the late Dr. A.D. Russell, who died in 1935. Survivors are 1 daughter, Mrs. John Rubel, Jr. of Clarksville, 1 son, Dr. A. Fount Russell of Clarksville, 1 sister, Mrs. O.C. Thompson, Wycliffe, Kentucky, 1 brother, L.A. Dilday of Clinton, 3 grandchildren, Alexander Preston Russell, Mary Virginia, and Betsy Lee Rubel. Mrs. Russell was an aunt of Mrs. Don Parker of Murray, Route 3. Mrs. Russell was a member of the First Baptist Church in Murray, where funeral service will be held Wednesday at 3 p.m. with H.C. Childs and W.C. Skinner officiating. Burial will be in the Murray City Cemetery. The body will arrive in Murray Wednesday at 1 p.m. and will lie in state at the First Baptist Church until the hour of service. The Max H. Churchill Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Mary Evelyn was a very popular young lady in the Dover area when she was growing up, and seemed to attend most functions in Dover and was at the forefront of a lot of the organizations. And she began college at Murray State in 1940. This is a school book photo of her. She's the second row from the bottom to the right. This was her sophomore year. This is Mary Evelyn's junior year at Murray State Teachers College, I believe it was called at that time. The First Baptist Church was the scene of an impressive wedding on 25 September 1948. The First Baptist Church was the scene of the beautiful and impressive wedding at 10 a.m. this morning of Miss Mary Evelyn Russell, daughter of Mrs. Alexander Damon Russell and the late Dr. Russell, and John Franklin Rupel, Jr., son of Mr. and Mrs. John Franklin Rupel. This is an obituary of Mary Evelyn. Mary Rubel. Mary Evelyn Rubel, 64, 175 West Glenwood Drive, died Friday, August 14, 1987, at St. Thomas Hospital, Nashville. The funeral will be at 2 p.m. Sunday at Madison Street United Methodist Church, with Reverends Philip Ritter and Gary Taylor officiating. Burial will be in the Greenwood Cemetery. Visitation will be afternoon today at McReynolds, Dave and Larson Funeral Home. She was born in Model, Tennessee, October the 22nd, 1922, a daughter of Dr. Alexander D. Russell and Corey Lee Dilday Russell. Mrs. Rubel was a former teacher in the Clarksville Montgomery County school system. She received her bachelor's degree from Murray Kentucky State University and attended graduate school at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. She was a member of the Madison Street United Methodist Church, which she served as church school teacher, youth counselor, secretary of the Willard Blue Bible class, and president of the Altar Guild. She was also a member of the Phi Mu Sorority, the Contemporary Book Club, Memorial Hospital Auxiliary, and Volunteers for Meals on Wheels. Survivors include her husband, John F. Rubel, Jr., Clarksville, two daughters, Virginia Caruso, Huntsville, Alabama, and Betsy Jernigan, Chicago, and four grandchildren. Pallbearers will be William D. Lyle, Thomas R. Seals, Thomas E. Harris, Collier Goodlett Jr., John E. Halliburton, Charles B. Randolph, John W. Edwards, and Jack H. Frost. Memorials may be sent in her name to the Christian Life Center Fund, Madison Street United Methodist Church. This is obituary for Mary Evelyn's husband, John Rubel Jr. John Franklin Rubel Jr., 73, 175 West Glenwood Drive, died Monday, August 29, 1994, at his home. The funeral will be 1 p.m. today at Madison Street United Methodist Church, with the Reverend Philip Ritter and David McIntyre officiating. Burial will be in Greenwood Cemetery. He was born October the 5th, 1920, in Montgomery County, a son of John Franklin Rubel Sr. and Minnie Johnson Rubel. He was the widower of Mary Evelyn Rubel. He was a partner in Rubel, Halliburton, and Northington Insurers. He was a member of the Madison Street United Methodist Church, where he served on the administrative board and was chairman of the Board of Trustees and a church school teacher. He served in the U.S. Navy Supply Corps for 39 months during World War II with the rank of lieutenant. He was a past president of the Clarksville Civitan Club, past commander of the American Legion Post No. 7, and past president of the Insurers of Clarksville. He was a member of Masonic Lodge No. 89, Free and Accepted Masons, 32nd Scottish Rite Club, and the Clarksville Scottish Club. Survivors include two daughters, Virginia Caruso, Huntsville, Alabama, and Betsy Jernigan, Chesterton, Indiana, and four grandchildren. Pallbearers will be Dr. William G. Lyle, William Harrison, John W. Edwards, Thomas R. Seals, John E. Halliburton, Michael Northington, Charles B. Rudolph, Phil Harple, and Bill Harple. Memorials will be made to the Madison Street United Methodist Church. McReynolds, Dave and Larson Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. This concludes the Model News for 21 October 1937. Hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to comment and like, and if you know of anything different you would like to do with these, just please let me know. Thank you.